against a rain-slicked rock. Detached, whispery, the smooth skin hydroplanes. Microscopic friction. Vanishes. Low, deliberate, downward inflection. You have been told your entire life that what happens next, the wrinkling of your fingertips in water, is a passive biological flaw. You assume your skin is simply absorbing water like a sponge through osmosis. Cold, articulate, it is a myth that has persisted for generations, obscuring a violent and brilliant physiological response. Mysterious, tense. In the fraction of a second that traction fails, your brain does not absorb. It executes a calculated survival protocol. Recognizing the catastrophic loss of mechanical grip, your autonomic nervous system fires a localized signal, whispery downward inflection. It triggers a violent constriction of the blood vessels deep beneath the pads of your fingertips, at the surface of a rushing river in the midst of a torrential downpour. Admiring. Slow, everything here is designed to repel, to slip, and to slide. When a human hand plunges into this cold, murky current to grip a submerged stone, it enters an environment fundamentally hostile to human biology. Deep resonance, deliberate. For the first few minutes, the skin remains smooth and taut. It struggles blindly against the slick, algae-covered surface, fighting a losing battle against the sheer force of the water. Admiring, resonant then, the physical transformation begins. Downward inflection. We watch the fingertips slowly begin to warp, to change their shape. Warm, grand storytelling. To the naked eye, it looks like a failure of our biological barrier. The skin appears waterlogged, decaying into soft, useless folds, as if surrendering to the elements. Admiring, articulate downward is not the intrusion of water, but a deliberate command from the nervous system. Urgent, breathless. Beneath the surface of the skin, specialized nerve fibers detect the drop in friction and the drop in temperature. They bypass your conscious thought entirely, sending a rapid-fire distress signal straight into the localized vascular network. Grit, articulate. The body prepares to rewrite its physical interface with the environment, initiating a process of extreme targeted vasoconstriction. Tense. Low growl, watch the practical mechanics of this response. The blood vessels pull tight, shrinking rapidly. As the internal volume of the fingertip abruptly drops, the outer layers of skin are pulled violently inward. Breathless, downward inflection. They do not swell. They collapse. Grit, urgent. This controlled collapse carves deep, calculated canyons across the pads of the fingers, fundamentally altering the topography of the flesh. These are not random wrinkles. Tense, articulate, they are perfectly spaced, geometrically precise fluid drainage channels. Low growl, rhythmic. As the hand presses back against the stone, these new valleys act exactly like the treads of a wet weather tire. They intercept the layer of water trapped between the skin and the rock, forcefully expelling the fluid outward through the deep channels. Urgent downward inflection. By draining the contact patch, the highest ridges of the skin are allowed to make direct, dry contact. Grit, breathless. This raw physical lock relies on absolute precision. The newly formed ridges catch against the microscopic jagged peaks of the algae-covered stone. Low growl, tense. It is a stunning display of applied physics, engineered organically and of our primal evolutionary past. Articulate, sorrowful. To survive in deep forests and river basins, early humans and our primate ancestors required the ability to forage in relentless rain and harvest from submerged environments. This autonomic response allowed early hands to confidently manipulate heavy, wet stones, gather wet vegetation, and secure footing in flooded terrains. Slow, voice breaking slightly, it transformed a hostile, slick environment into an entirely manageable landscape. Heavy sigh, articulate, downward inflection. A localized, microscopic reaction in the fingertips dictates our macro survival, granting us unparalleled river. And look down at your own hands right now. Hollow. Oh, slow. The next next time you step out of a long shower or pull your hands from a sink of dishwater, take a moment to look at your wrinkled fingertips. Intimate, articulate, you are not witnessing your body passively giving in to the moisture. You are watching a primal, high-performance survival system activating in your own home. Soft, downward inflection. Existing in your environment. Intimate, fading out, downward inflection. Your body is constantly, actively rewriting its own architecture.